all that going on?
Yeah, he didn't, go looking out the window or anything. He was
Right
just.
on the 191.
Well, all right, that's kind of far away. It's not right at the door. I
Yeah.
don't need to bark.
Yeah.
I'm okay. But
Winter home,
oh my
whatever.
gosh, when the Amazon guy comes or UPS comes,
Kids use it more than
Oh.
us.
he's bonkers at the door.
Anybody comes to that front door.
Yeah.
And if the front door,
Bills
the
are 20
ring
minute drive.
doorbell, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Actually,
The
couldn't
Chihuahua
say
and the
neighbors
Yorkie.
new houses in.
It's gotten to the point, like, if
They have
dad's like, oh, let's have pizza tonight, I'm like, I'm gonna go pick it
You
up,
own a-
because I don't want to deal with the delivery. Let's go
an
pick it up.
LLC.
What
Let's go pick it up.
if we have pizza delivered, I sit out in
They
the
make
garage.
money, working overseas.
Yeah, or if we have it delivered, like, I do it on an app, like, Dad, it says they're 2 minutes away, I'm gonna go wait outside. Yeah, get 'em in the driveway.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Welcome to the Wednesday, July 9th, 2025 meeting of the Planning Board. We have a quorum. If everyone would like to join me in the pledge, please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Okay, the open forum is now open. Anyone wishing to speak, you have 5 minutes, talk away. Nope, see none, I'll close that forum. Tonight is no public hearings, so item number 1 is approval of minutes, meeting May 14th.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes of the meeting of May 14th, 2025 as presented.
Thank you, I seek a second.
Second.
All in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
All right, item 2, regular meeting appointment recommendation, city council packet, page 5. All right, here is the rub. As chair, I've always encouraged and led toward who signed up first wins. However, in this case, Mr. Santana, recommendation. Regular meeting member appointment recommendation.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, who's the regular, wait, am I missing something? Where's my agenda packet?
Well, here's page 5, that's why I'm confused.
So, this is an attendance packet 5 of 14. It's, none of us are up for grabs, right? It's just the fill of the vacancy.
No, this is just the
Correct?
attendance record.
Pardon me?
This is just the attendance records.
The attendance records is what page 5 is. And
So what are we supposed to do with this? It's like informational, I mean, or send it to council, or what? I mean,
This is informational for you, for the
Yeah.
board,
okay.
to help make your decision.
So is there any discussion on that matter? I mean, I don't see any need to beat it up or cool. Anybody have any comments, the board, on this thing? Nope.
I was just confused because it said page 5 and page 5 is that. Page
Yeah.
7 is the other. So
Right.
my apologies, I'm the one that brought that up.
Thanks. Hey, I take input. All right. So then what we've done here is read it. There's no motion required. There's nothing needed for us to do except acknowledge the fact that we want to send this to the city council so we all meet their approval? Or what?
We would actually,
Have some guidance here, guys, why this is here?
usually, the board would make a recommendation to the council, and then the council would actually make the appointment. So,
But we're not making any appointments on this item 2.
Or are we?
Can I provide some clarity? So we have a regular member vacancy for Artie, and we had both of our alternates asked to be appointed to the regular member, so both Jessica and Joe. And so we were just asking the board, as the board is the one that usually makes a recommendation to council, to make a recommendation tonight on whether Jessica or Joe should be sent to council as the recommendation.
And that's what I thought we were doing, but that's not at all clear by item 2,
Yeah.
so.
And
okay,
I'm
thank
sorry
you.
for that. I think she was adding in that for backup so that you could see the attendance records, because we usually give attendance records to council for reappointment, so council can see the attendance records. So I believe that's why you have that, and I believe she also attached the applications of Jessica and
Yes.
Joe as well.
Right, she did, but there are no attendance records for alternates, so what's the point, right?
I gotcha.
And I kind of wanted that,
Yeah.
so I could judge how
Yeah, I believe it
interested
did
they
say-
were,
I
right?
believe it did say if they were present or not, I thought.
It does.
It did say if they were present or not at the meeting.
But it's not required, Lynette,
Correct.
to have attendance
Correct.
records for alternates.
But-
It's not in the code.
Right,
can't
but it
be-
is listed.
They can't be like, look, you don't come, you can't
Yeah,
be on
the-
the
the
board.
attendance
Like
policy
us.
does not
If
apply.
you don't come, you're off the board, right, 2 times. So that's not a rule in the code. Can I ask for that? And the city attorney said, no, it's not in the code, so you can't judge them by that. Well, okay, technically, no, but personally, yes. So therefore, I say this, and back to my original point, thank you for your input, but I'm going back to where I was. Typically, we have appointed people by first come, first serve on their, the date they applied for the board, right, guys?
Right.
And we always felt that was a cool thing to do. However, Mr. Joseph has never been here. Never sat in that audience watching what we do. And as much as he was first, but if he had come and watched, he'd have some ideas. Jessica over there has been here every time.
Yeah, it's been, she has.
So I recommend, my view is that we send her up the river to the council.
Up the river?
The river to the council.
You mean up
I mean,
Same place, up the river.
Thank you.
very valid point with that. I can concur completely with that. I do.
Yeah.
Because the fact I know what you're saying, we did before with first in, first to the board, right? But with that, I agree. I
It's
can't.
wide open, I have a quandary.
Yep.
I have to break my rule that we've always gone by, you know.
Jessica's always
It's not
been
my
here,
rule, we've
so-
all concurred over time, right?
Well, I agree. And personally, I know Joe a lot better than I do Jessica, although we're getting acquainted through the dogs. But I agree. Joe has not been here, and she's been here every time. So, yeah, I'm in favor of sending Jessica's name up.
And I'm pretty sure she has a clue what we're doing by now, by observing
does.
us, and
Yes,
she's
she
been on the
does.
dais. She's been there and been pulled up here. Joe's never had the opportunity of being pulled up here, you know, so therefore, do I have a motion or
I would
a?
like to make a motion to recommend for approval Jessica, and I'm not even going to massacre her last name with a V, to be forwarded to the city council meeting for approval to sit on the planning board for the city of Oldsmar. Did I do that properly?
That's great. Second, please?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
You gonna vote for yourself? Can you?
Sure, I don't know if I can, but.
All right, that's done. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, no, that was not as easy as it first appeared. Number 3, proposed planning board rules of procedure, page 11. Now, I read these, they're wonderful. Years ago, didn't we come to an agreement that we would go by Robert Rules of Order?
Right.
We all made, that would be our guideline of bylaws. Well, evidently, Tom Trask doesn't think we have enough bylaws. So, he and I assume the city clerk's office have come up with this wonderful document that really just expands on the code, verbalizes it or pontificates it, I don't know which. But when I read the code and I read this, it's kind of the same thing. God bless them, okay. I don't see anything in here that's weird, in my view.
Also
But
pretty standard.
actually, I should shut up and ask opinions of the board. So Lynette, please, if you have anything, your ideas on this?
I have one question.
Do we have to have a motion before we discuss? Yes. Please, I entertain a motion for approval of proposed planning board's rules of procedure.
Second?
A second, so now, discussion. Thank you, I got that
Thank
kind of wrong.
Um,
Still learning.
All right, and this may be a dumb question. On number 3, membership, the second sentence, all members must be elections of the city and shall not hold any other public position or office in the Oldsmar city government. So if you sit on another board, is that a public position?
I don't think so, volunteer position.
Okay.
And I've heard that you can sit on more than one board.
Yeah, they,
So have I, which made me question.
Yeah, when you
How are we
read that,
defining?
yeah, when I read it, I went, whoa, wait, yeah, no. So, but I think that one's okay.
yeah, there was a time when you could only serve on one board, but then that was changed some time ago. I remember reading it in the minutes or somewhere. And as a matter of fact, Joe was, he was on the leisure board, and then he wanted to be here, so, and he was basically approved to, you know, so.
And I
yeah,
think he's still on the leisure board.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought of doing the veterans board, but I thought, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I
So,
thought about doing code enforcement, but there's a waiting list to get on that one.
Really?
Yeah, it sure is.
okay, any other input, Ross?
No.
Brenda?
Just to piggyback on Lynette's, just because I'm OCD, I would like to have clarification on that so it doesn't come back and bite anybody. Because I personally own my own nonprofit and I work full-time for a different company, and I don't want, I mean, that, if you guys think it'll be okay, but I know how things change, and I'm just asking for clarification.
I'm misunderstanding your
Where
concern on.
it says all members must, and not hold any other public position or office.
In the
City of
Oldsmar
Oldsmar
city
government.
government.
In the
Oh,
government.
government, okay, never mind, I'm
Okay.
clear.
Now,
Thank you for that clarification.
I've had some personal discussion about the non-voting ex officio. Well, that's pretty redundant because ex officio means non-voting. Now, if we want our kids to learn Latin, we should strike non-voting, but I guess it helps. But we've had one young man in here, the kid with the hair, I can't
Yeah,
remember his name.
Yeah, yeah.
He sat there so quiet. Every time we'd ask him for input, he'd go, no, nothing. So he wouldn't even participate, much less vote. And of course, he couldn't vote. So there was some rumor that we'd have a young person in here. But I don't know if we need the non-voting ex officio because it is redundant, but then again, a lot of people don't know what that means and won't take the time to Google it because there's no such thing as a encyclopedia anymore. Everything else in here is, we already know. So there is nothing in here about our expense report, expense account.
It's because you don't have one.
It's in the code. It's in the code. Unless this new book has changed it.
I was just gonna say, what expense?
Yeah.
Wait, the old code, here I have the city plan, the old code says that if we have a need for, wait a minute, bear with me, meetings, testimony under oath, adopt rules, governance, affairs, keeping the provisions, determine matters of the board.
3936.
The city council may make available to the planning board such funds, thank you, for expenses necessary for the conduct of planning board work. Now, to me, that means cookies. Sorry. But anyway, I don't see financial assistance. Now, it's not in this new board member handbook, right? But that doesn't mean this is the new code, because this hasn't been codified yet, as far as I know. And, boy, I hope y'all did your financial disclosures. That was a
Yes.
pain. And this doesn't say anything about that, but I don't know if it has to, because we've never utilized it.
Well, there's,
We can always get a bottle of water if we want.
yeah, so, well, I don't,
One day I thought we could have sandwiches and cake.
well, years ago, we used to get together a couple of times a year, on our own, and, or in the building somewhere, just the planning board and our wives and families, and we'd all bring stuff and have a little Christmas get-together or something of that nature, but,
Before Tom Trask got loose on us with the
oh,
sunshine
yeah, that's
law.
true, yeah.
All right. So anyway, do you have any items to discuss on this that you want to bring forth?
No, the only thing, I read all of this, and I'm saying, look, I don't see anything any different than we've been doing for years.
Yeah, it's just kind of a regurgitation of the
It's
code.
just kind of putting it all in writing and in a formal, writing, so,
Yeah, I thought it was overkill, but what the heck? you
yeah,
know.
I agree.
I'm happy Tom's got something to do, and I hope he didn't charge the city too much for it. Jessica, do you have any?
No, sir.
Okay, I
I
seek
read
a-
it all. It
I seek a
makes
motion.
sense.
I seek a motion on this.
Well, I make a motion that we recommend the planning, excuse me, what was it called?
Planning board rules of procedures.
Well, now I can't find it.
So this would not be a recommendation, this would be an approval. Either your
What's it called?
bylaws.
What's it called?
Rules of
The City of Oldsmar Rules of Procedures. I make a motion we recommend to the
Bob,
City Council that the rules of procedure be accepted.
As presented?
Is that it? That's
Would
it?
you like it as presented? At the end of your sentence, may I?
Oh,
input
you mean
Yeah.
like this?
Mr. Chair.
that? Without any changes.
Without any changes.
Yeah, without any changes, yes.
Mr.
Without
Chair,
any changes.
this would
yeah.
just be an approval. This is not a recommendation to the council. This is the board's bylaws.
Approval.
Oh,
Just
just,
approval.
it's in-house? Well, then that's, that's what I think. Then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry,
Opposed?
so
Nay.
we had a motion. Who was the second?
Somebody
Second.
did.
Thank you.
Second.
He was down there.
Second.
Okay, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's, concludes our business for this evening. Anybody have any personal comments except me about tree murder? I'm just so distressed about that.
Tree murder?
Dismissal.
And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night.